The question I have for us today is, are you afraid? There's a portion of scripture in the Bible, Luke chapter 21, verse 26, and Jesus says something in that portion of scripture. He said that in the days that we live in, the hearts of many people will fail them because of fear, which means that there'll be so many things happening in our time that it will cause a lot of us to be afraid. However, there are a number of things that we can look out for, or a number of things that might cause us to be fearful. Well, one of those things is what I'll describe as being self-reliant rather than being God-reliant. So fear can come if we are relying on ourselves to make things work in the future rather than on God. There's another portion of scripture that I'll refer to, Psalm 20 verse 7. Now that portion of scripture says something. It says, some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, but we will trust in the name of the Lord. Now what that means is that there is the tendency that that we will want to work things out ourselves. We'll be trusting on our own skill, our own knowledge, our own provision and things like that. So when those things are taken away, or when those things are no longer existent, what do? That's when fear comes in. But that portion of scripture tells us something. It says that if we trust in God, then irrespective of what we have or what we don't have, because our reliance is on God, then it is unlikely that we will be overwhelmed with fear. Now, why am I saying this? God goes on to say in another portion of scripture, 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. It says, look, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. So what that means is God isn't just saying, okay, sort things out yourself. No, he's saying, look, be reliant on me. Why? Because I care for you. So we can begin to address fear in our lives as we become less self-dependent and more God-dependent. God really cares about you and I, and he wants us to depend on him so that we will not be overwhelmed by fear.